Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a lip wear test or a review or first impressions, whatever it is. I picked up this product just the other day. This is the Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink in the shade 25 Red Hot. Now I was picking up a script from the chemist, I was at Priceline and I saw these and I was like, oh, I know a lot of people have recommended these to me. I know I did, what was the brand? I think it was L'Oreal. Anyway, I did a review of a long wear sort of glossy lip product at the end of last year and I was still pregnant. Must have been like October, September. So it was a few months ago and a lot of people were like, oh, if you don't like that one, these are amazing. Check these out. And they hadn't come to Australia yet. They're in Australia now. They're currently half price at Priceline. So I'm going to rush this review and get it up while that's still happening because I know that these are quite hyped products and half price is what I like to recommend for people in Australia with drugstore prices because these aren't cheap. I'll read out the price. These are currently also available at Adore Beauty, which is an online beauty store in Australia for $26.99, so that's full price. So this is only available in 6 shades in Australia. I know there's more shades in the US, so I'll have a comparison on the screen. The one that I got, like I mentioned, was Red Hot. It's the bright red one. You know I love me a bright red, and the other shades were a little bit boring. They're a little bit muted for me, and from experience, look, if I really like this, I might go back and get a nude, but I do love to test a red because it really shows how products wear, and I love a red lip. Okay, so the claims of this, it says it's a no-budge vinyl color. So in the beauty world, vinyl means high shine. It's supposed to have up to 16 hours wear, a high shine finish. Yeah, that's the vinyl name. Its color lock formula defies smudging and transfer, and you simply shake, swipe, and go. I will show you me applying this soon, but I'm going to tell you that it's not as easy as simply shake, swipe, and go. It is quite finicky. It's very, very liquidy. It does have a nice, precise applicator, but even then, you got to get it sort of really precise because if you have it wobbly or a bit messy, the line being so wet and so shiny, there's not much room for smudging to fix things. Like it's pretty obvious the crisp line that this creates. So you do have to actually, it's not an easy thing to apply. So you would want this to last all day because reapplying just on the go probably isn't as easy as they make out. So if this lasts all day, okay, it might be worth a little bit of extra effort when you first apply it, but yeah, it's not as simple as they claim. Now this does claim up to 16 hours wear. I am not wearing it for 16 hours. I applied this at midday, so I'm gonna keep the wear test going for as long as I think it's needed. If I need to go for 12 hours and wear this until midnight, I will do that. But when this does get to a point where I would want to either touch it up, reapply, or remove it because it's not looking great, that's when I'm gonna end the wear test. So we'll see how this one goes. So let's cut to me applying this and then I'll check back in throughout the day and show you how it wears. All right, time to apply, and the instructions say that you shake for at least 5 seconds, apply to the center of your upper lip, follow the contours of your mouth, then glide across the entire bottom lip and let fully dry. So I'm gonna try to do that. We've got to shake for, feels like there's a different canister in there. Like it feels like there's a canister that's shaking away from the outer layer. It's strange. It's not, doesn't feel like a standard lipstick, liquid lipstick tube. Is this long enough? I think it's long enough. Let's do it. All right, first time opening it. Oh, it's tough. Oh, there's a sticker. Okay, that's why. Forgot to mention as well that it is just past 12 o'clock, so midday. I'm going to wear this for as long as I can. Okay, so the applicator is just like a typical sort of slanted doe foot applicator. So they say in the middle first, like this. It's not as pigmented as I thought, to be fair. Very runny. Got like a vanilla-y, like, it's very, I feel like it's gonna give a tingle feel. It's got that really obnoxiously fragranced sort of vanilla-y caramel scent, and then See how it's still a bit sheer for a red? I'm going in for a second dip. I thought it was going to be more opaque. All right, a few things to note. Got on my teeth a couple of times, but it's very sticky. Okay, let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. Very, very shiny, quite sticky. I can feel the outer corners of my lips sticking together as I'm talking. Ah! I feel like it applies quite unevenly because I can see there's like a rim, a darker rim around the lips, and then it sort of shears out a little bit. So it's hard to get it nice and even. It's also really hard to get it nice and precise. I sort of like a lipstick that's either a creamy lipstick or a matte lipstick that you can just throw on, and it's sort of, the line isn't so crisp, but that needs to be really exact. It sort of can be a bit blurry, a bit creamy, it's fine. This like took a lot longer than a normal lipstick, just saying, because I had to get it quite precise because it's very, very wet and very crisp. The line's really crisp, still really sticky. Okay. All right, so it's been a few minutes and I'm hoping it's set. It still feels a little bit tacky when I talk, so that outer corners, I can feel them sort of sticking together. But just a really light touch, it's not transferring. So I think it's set enough. I'm gonna do a light kiss test. I don't feel like this is supposed to be so budge proof that if you smear your lips on your hand, it's not gonna move. I feel like it's just gonna be set and probably won't transfer onto cups and stuff like that. I'll make a cup of tea and we'll see soon. But let's give it, yeah. So and I'll show you, look. Oh, a little bit came off there. So it is very sticky, but that sort of sticky layer is what sort of transfers. The color sort of sets underneath. And this is not a new concept. There are a couple of brands that do this. I know LH Cosmetics have one. I think Lady Gaga has one. It's sort of similar to my favorite lip stains, the Tony Moly lip stains, the Shocking lip stains, that you put them on in a similar way, but instead of it being like a liquid lipstick with a shiny outer layer, it is a stain with a shiny outer layer. So the stain sets to your lips, the shiny layer like stays on top, but it's not as sticky as this. That just feels like it's a gloss rather than this sort of really sticky, tacky, goopy. Yeah, this is a little bit uncomfortable. And it was also a little bit sheer. I had to put 2 coats on. I could already see it starting to lift here. Yeah. This sort of feels like those old school, I think they're still around, but those liquid lipsticks on one end, and then you have that gloss over the top to stop it being sticky, like the really, really long wear lipstick. I did try a product like this a couple months ago. I think it was from L'Oreal. I'll put it on the screen. I did a review and a wear test. That one I concluded that it is sort of similar to the double-ended long wear liquid lipstick and like the gloss that you put over the top, but just in one formula. And this is very similar to that as well. So we'll see how this one lasts. It's not the most comfortable and not the easiest to apply on my first impressions, but we'll check back in. All right, check in. It's been nearly 2 hours. I don't know if you can see that. That's 1:56 is what that's saying. I've just filmed another video. I changed my top because I wanted to, but it's getting hot, so I might change back. But this is wearing pretty well. It's still sticky. I might actually turn this down so you can see it a bit better and zoom in. It's still quite sticky. Like it grips, as you can see, it sort of grips to your finger. And yes, it's not transferring, but little tiny chunks do. I'm not sure if you can see the little flecks on my finger. It comes off in little tiny chunks. So overall, it's feeling all right, but this is around 2 hours wear without eating or drinking. So I've just been taking Project Pan photos and doing a check-in and for a video and doing some TikToks and whatever. So this is sort of optimal wear. I'm going to, in the next hour, eat and drink. I'll come back and talk about any transferring onto cups. I'll tell you how it's looking after eating, but I did want to report in before that happens. So yeah, no eating or drinking after 2 hours. It looks pretty perfect, nice and shiny. My face is feeling very shiny as well. It's getting quite warm in here. All right, so it's 3:11. You can't see that at all with this photo. Anyway, 3:11, and I have eaten and I have had drinks and I am sweating up storms. I'm trying to finish cleaning all the bathrooms and putting away all the laundry before my family come home. But anyway, this is, look, it didn't transfer much onto my drinks. So hopefully I'll have some footage showing on my glass. There was no transfer, but on the rim of my mug, there was slight transfer. Nothing crazy, nothing, yeah, it does transfer, but not much, not compared to most other red lipsticks. So this is quite budge resistant. It's not completely transfer proof, but it's pretty good. It is still quite tacky. So as long as that shine's there, I feel like the tackiness is going to be there and the shine is still there. I'm just having a look, and this tends to wear off in little chunks. So I find that it doesn't smear off or smudge off or fade down. It's just that it leaves little chunks occasionally, and like on your teeth, like down here, there's a little chunk. Like if you touch your lips, there tends to be like little flakes that sort of come off. I'm not sure if you can see, but on my finger, the little red flakes. So it does come off, just doesn't wear down. And I think the chunks are coming from the inner rim where it's starting to fade down. There, like that is, it's like dry chunks flaking off. All right, it is 8 o'clock, and this is probably the last bit of sunlight I'm going to be filming in on my phone. Look, for 8 hours, this is not bad. Like from a distance, it looks fine. Hello. But keeps looking at the camera. But it, close up, it's a bit chunky. And I have had dinner. I feel like the oils have broken down the shiny layer, so it's no longer shiny. It doesn't feel dry. It feels a little bit less heavy than it did when I first put it on, less sticky, because that is breaking down, but it's coming off chunky. And I just found that throughout the day, I could just feel like there's always little bits on my teeth. So yeah, it's not the most flattering way to wear down a lipstick in my opinion. But it is still there. So I'll probably do one more check-in before I wash it off. I'm waiting to wash it off. I've been on a walk, I've sweated off most of my makeup, and I've just got this red lip that's just sitting there, and I'm like, just come off. But it is holding on. So it's doing that. It's just a bit chunky and not as shiny. This looks like a matte lip now. So yeah, that's how it's wearing. All right, this is around the 10-hour mark, and it hasn't changed much since the 8 o'clock check-in. I feel like I haven't eaten anything since dinner anyway, so I feel like with every meal you have, it just breaks down more and more, but then it sort of just stops and doesn't do anything for a while. So I'm going to conclude it here. I already know how I feel about this, and it's very similar to how I felt about the last sort of similar concept by Revlon that I tried a few months ago. Look, do I think this is worth the hype? No. Do I think it meets the claims? Some. I think this could definitely last till 16 hours. I don't think you'll look great, but there'll be some left on your lips, so the claims are accurate. It does have a shiny finish. It is sort of not budge proof, but I'd say it's more like budge resistant. I think the claim that this doesn't meet the most though is how easy it makes it seem to apply. I just found that, I think possibly because of the color as well and the consistency, you have to be quite accurate and quite precise. To me, it actually took a bit of work to apply. It probably took 3 times longer than another liquid lipstick. So it meets some claims, but not others in my opinion. I don't think it's vastly different from the claims that I'd say that it's incorrect, but I just don't think this is worth the hype, in my opinion. I can understand why this got some hype though, because the formula being like a liquid lipstick with a really high shine finish that then sets on your lips and doesn't transfer. If you haven't come across that before, it is really interesting. But I've come across it in not only other drugstore formulas, I've also heard Urban Decay do it, LH Cosmetics. Someone on TikTok recommended the House Labs one. Apparently that one's really good. Like I mentioned at the start of this video, a lip stain version is a Tony Moly Shocking Stains. A more matte silicone version would be the Kaleidos Cloud Lab lip clays. They do the same thing, but they have a like blotted effect, not that high shine effect. So if you haven't come across this sort of setting formula before, it probably is very exciting, but for me, I'm like, it's just all right. The main reason why I personally wouldn't recommend this product and I personally wouldn't buy more is simply because how it wears down is a bit chunky and uncomfortable. And also when you first apply it, the sticky feel, I don't like. I did also have a question on TikTok. Someone was asking if it's a drying feel. I don't feel like it's drying. It's just heavy on the lips. It feels a little bit suffocating, very sticky, very, yeah, it's very noticeable. You have product on your lips, and all day, all I was thinking was lipstick, 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 lipstick. It's just not a feel that you sort of get used to. Because this feels quite heavy and quite noticeable, which I don't personally love, and because it wears off in little chunky flakes, it's not something I'm going to reach for too often. Does it wear a long time? Yes. Does it maintain its shine for a long time? Yes. This also wasn't as opaque as I was expecting it to be, and for red I want it to be like a quite an opaque finish. I had to like layer this, which I was a little bit disappointed by because I've tried other ones where you don't need to do that. So yeah, I don't hate it, I just don't love it enough to buy it again. And for me, I've got bullet lipsticks like that newish MAC formula, the slim one. That red is a bullet lipstick that lasts like this, but it's much more comfortable on me. If this wore flawlessly and my lips like looked perfect for 10 hours, I could get past the feel of it, because there's definitely a need for, there's times where you just want to wear a lipstick, put it on, even if it takes longer, have it look perfect, and then it just like does not move and does not budge for like 12 hours. If that was the case, sure, I would totally look past the feel of this. But because that's not the case, I just think there are better standard lipsticks that wear as long as this and fade down to this sort of effect, but just feel a lot more comfortable on the lips and a lot more lightweight. But if you are interested in checking these out for yourself, they're available now in Australia. You can get them Priceline, half price at the moment. You can get them in Adore Beauty. You can get them, I think, at Amazon, and I'm sure they'll be coming to Chemist Warehouse soon. We've got limited shades, but it is what it is. And if you are anywhere else in the rest of the world, check your local stockist. I know they've been available in the US for a little while with probably like double the shades. But yeah, is what it is. If you've tried them, let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.